This is Tata, and welcome to the Wrestling Time Post Show. It is Monday, April 15, 2024, and today we're going to be talking about Monday Night Raw. Hey, Joe, what's up? So we have quite a few things to talk about. A few things happened tonight on Raw. Let's kick things off with some unfortunate news. Mike Johnson of PWI Insider reported earlier today that Rhea Ripley was injured last week on Raw, and it was during that backstage brawl with Liv Morgan. And that they also heard that the issue was severe enough that the talk internally is that Rhea may be forced to vacate her championship. And that's exactly what happened. Monday Night Raw opened up with Rhea Ripley, and she came out with a sling on her arm. I think it happened. Liv is going to win that title. I think so. I'll get into it right now. I think it happened when Liv pushed her against the wall, and I think that's when she injured her arm. You could Rhea herself says she's angry, she's frustrated because she's been told she has to vacate her title. She's going to be stuck on the bench for a couple months. She didn't say how many months, but she just said it's a few. Now, she blames Liv Morgan for this stupid revenge tour. And I have to say, the story is right there. It's writing itself. Last year, Rhea Ripley took out Liv Morgan and cost her 8 months of her career. And of course, Liv Morgan wants this revenge back. Now, I know accidents happen. I know Liv Morgan didn't intentionally hurt Rhea, but the thing is, you can use this as a story. You could say Liv Morgan got her revenge on Rhea because she took her out and pretty much forced her to vacate the title. Now, Liv Morgan does come out during this segment, and she comes out and Liv Morgan ain't the bad guy. I know she's not, but you can use it in the storyline. She comes out and she's laughing at Rhea, and security gets in the way, and Rhea is so upset she headbutts a security guard because the security is stopping her from attacking Liv. And it's so sad because Rhea walks backstage, see Judgment Day, they hug her. Priest basically tells her she's gonna make. But that double turn can help both women from getting stale. Yeah, exactly. That she's going to make Liv Morgan regret messing with her. Dom tells Rhea that she loves him, and she responds by saying it back in Spanish, te amo. And we find out next week we're going to crown a new champion. Now, later on in the night, Liv Morgan, when she's getting interviewed, she gets booed during this interview, and she's basically asking, where was the sympathy for her when Rhea took her out for 8 months, and that this is karma for Rhea. And the end is of her revenge towards her winning the title. I honestly feel like that's what was going to happen. I feel like they were building up to Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan, with Liv Morgan eventually taking that title from her. And I think that's how this was supposed to end. Now, Rhea Ripley was champion for 380 days. Her title reign, in my opinion, started off really slow at the beginning after she won the title, because she was mostly with Judgment Day. She hardly interacted with the women. But once she started interacting with the women and had storylines with the women's division, it took off. But, it was a pretty decent title reign. Like I said, I think it was going to come to an end against Liv Morgan, but as Io pointed out, now this double turn, because now you got Liv Morgan here being booed. She's probably the heel already, and she's gonna probably win that title. And when Rhea Ripley comes back, they're gonna feud. But I don't know how long she's gonna be out for. It could be, she said months, so maybe 6 months, maybe 8 months. We'll see how long. If Liv Morgan does win the title next week, we'll see how long she holds it to. Will she hold it all the way until Rhea comes back? Will she not win the title next week? Will she win it a few months down the road? We have to wait and see. But what did you guys think of this? What do you guys think of them making this angle? Liv Morgan being blamed? I think it'll help both of them. So we also got Triple H presenting the tag titles. It's about damn time. Let's see. They said months. Guess before or after SummerSlam? I feel like after SummerSlam probably, because it's April. SummerSlam is 4 months away. So it's about damn time. If you guys have been watching my channel, I've been not only advocating for the tag titles to split, but I've been advocating for new tag titles here. It's like, everybody got new belts except for the tag team champions. So I was like, what the hell? 14 years of silver and penny belts is over. Yes, exactly. Damn, it's been 14 years. Exactly. It's finally over. Triple H presented new tag belts. Look at this. This is very pretty. I actually really like this. I really like the black leather on these tag belts. So I think they look wonderful. I cannot wait to see how the SmackDown tag belts look like. Oh, excuse me, I should say the WWE tag titles, because these are now officially called the World Tag Titles. And that's exactly what I said. They were going to be called the World Tag Titles, with SmackDown getting the WWE tag titles. So obviously, because Awesome Truth are the current tag team champions, they are brought out. Now, one of the things I disliked about this is I feel like this segment went on a little longer than it should have. Like, R-Truth, you can't hate anything that R-Truth does, but like he goes on this tangent about magicians and him not trusting magicians after Little Jimmy. And I do like the fact that he cost Triple H Tommaso Ciampa, because as you know, he cost Tommaso Ciampa Triple H. He thinks DIY is D-Generation X, which is hilarious. But like I said, I feel like this segment goes on way too long, with Miz speaking French to R-Truth and just stuff like and then him bringing up the magicians and Little Jimmy. All they needed to do is just present the tag titles and move on to the next thing, which would be a triple threat number 1 contenders match. But I'll get into that when I get to there. So that's one. And then we had, all right. So now I'm going to go back to the beginning. We had Sheamus come back, and he teamed up. He faced off against Ivar. My bad. He faced off against Ivar. This was a good match. I was really looking forward to it. This is his first match back. Now, they make reference of how Ivar debuted on that in the Bell Center 5 years ago as a Viking Experience. We don't need to remember that, Viking Experience, because they were the War Raiders. They should have stayed that way. The Viking Raiders isn't too bad, but the Viking Experience was very bad. We don't remember that. Now, this was a good match. You know what? I definitely would love to see Obafemi, the NXT North American Champion, versus Sheamus. I might actually watch NXT for that. Or actually, maybe just that match. But I would definitely like to see that match. I'm sure Obafemi versus Ivar is going to be really good, too. But it's no surprise Sheamus got the win. I mean, how could he not get the win? This is his first match back in months. So, of course, he was going to win. And then, he goes to the commentary and he celebrates with Michael Cole and Pat McAfee. Now, I like the fact that Michael Cole makes mention over the fact that Sheamus has never held the IC title, which is currently being held by Sami Zayn. So we'll see if that leads into anything. They brought back his old theme. Yes, I was excited about that. So you get DIY versus the New Day versus the Creed Brothers in a triple threat number 1 contenders match. The winner facing Awesome Truth. Now, during the New Day's entrance, I did notice something. There was a barcode, and if you scan the barcode, this is what it got. It's probably, a reference to the return of Uncle Howdy. But I thought this was a really decent match. DIY dressed as DX. And I like the fact that Tommaso Ciampa got Triple H chants during this, which I thought was so hilarious. DIY wins this, and one of the things I like about this is that it's going to be basically Regeneration X versus the Awesome Truth. You guys know that they were teaming up a little bit before WrestleMania, so it should be interesting here. This is the Awesome Truth's first title defense, so I don't think they're going to lose, but hey, you never know. We get a Drew McIntyre interview, and he's shown footage from last week, when CM Punk cost him the number 1 contendership, and he doesn't even say anything. He just laughs and kicks the TV. I have to say, Drew McIntyre has no one to be mad at besides himself. If he hadn't rubbed it in CM Punk's face, he would still be world champion. Last week, he brought that on himself. He blamed CM Punk for his own actions. All he had to do was just walk to the back after he won the world title. That's all he had to do. And instead, he chose to rub it in Punk's face. So we get Maxxine Dupri and Ivy Niles versus Candice LeRae and Indi Hartwell. This is a decent match, but an interesting thing, Indi Hartwell distracted the ref. So he didn't see the tag between Ivy Nile and Maxxine Dupri. And she dragged Candice LeRae onto Maxxine. So, over the last couple of weeks, Candice LeRae has been turning heel, and it seems like Indi wasn't about that. But now maybe she's turning heel too. I don't know. What do you guys think of this? Is Indi Hartwell turning heel? Is she finally going to take Candice's side? I thought that was very interesting. So maybe they're going to be fully heel. We get a Damian Priest video package, and I thought this was a really good video package. Like, it highlighted his career, and he talked about how he was homeless 10 years ago. And it was just a beautiful, well-done package. Now, I wonder if that means Damian Priest is going to turn face. I definitely do think the split of the Judgment Day is coming, and I'll talk more about it right now. So, Indi, let me see. Indi should join here. I can see them winning the belts. I can see them winning the belts too. So Judgment Day, Damian Priest tells JD to have Dom's back as he takes care of Andrade. And Balor makes note that they need to focus on recapturing the tag titles, but Damian Priest says that Balor needs to focus on Jey Uso tonight. So I thought that was very interesting. I honestly believe that the split of Judgment Day was coming. Now, it's unfortunate, Rhea Ripley did get injured, but I do think because of her injury, the split is coming sooner, much more sooner than later. So it seems like there might be some tension between Balor and Damian Priest, because now that Damian Priest is world champion, I'm pretty sure he doesn't care about those tag titles. So you get a Chad Gable interview, and it looks like he's training in the ring with Julius from the Creed brothers. And he's talking about how the title match tonight is everything, his validation, his vindication. And Sami, he says by Sami letting him train, he learned all his weaknesses, and he planned to expose Sami Zayn tonight. Now, they were in Montreal, Canada, Sami Zayn's hometown. I said it last week, and I'll say it again right now. This was the opportunity to turn Chad Gable heel. Why? Because you guys have to remember when Chad Gable lost to Gunter, he lost not only in his hometown, but he lost in front of his wife and his kids, and his daughter cried. What better way to turn Chad Gable heel than to have him beat, or at least, attack Sami Zayn in front of his family? I feel Finn and Madonna may get stale. Dom will be fine. I'll talk about that right now. So I said it would be an interesting thing if they had Chad Gable turn heel tonight. It's the perfect opportunity for him to turn heel, unless you feel like it was coming. That heel turn. I mean, think about it. Like, Sami Zayn took his WrestleMania moment. He beat Gunter when it should have been Chad Gable's opportunity. Yes, we're finally getting Kurt Angle vibes in Chad Gable. Exactly. So you get Dominik Mysterio versus Andrade. And this was a good match. Andrade ultimately chose to side with Rey Mysterio over Dominik Mysterio. And now Andrade does win this. And at the end, he's attacked by JD. And then he's double teamed by Dominik and Ricochet. Dominik and JD. And Ricochet, who's had issues with Judgment Day, he actually beat both Dominik Mysterio and JD Madonna. So guess what? You know what that means, right? You know what that means? We're getting next year, we're getting a tag team match player. Holla. It's going to be Andrade and Ricochet versus JD Madonna and Dominik Mysterio. Jey Uso gets interviewed backstage, and he's basically asked his thoughts on Tama Tonga's debut. If you guys remember, on Friday Night SmackDown, Tama Tonga finally debuted and attacked Jimmy Uso. Here's an idea. Put Gable with the Creed brothers. Okay. So Jey Uso basically says that he told Jimmy to come with him, but he needs to focus on Finn Balor tonight because you guys remember he is number one contender. So I think Jimmy and Jey are gonna reunite at some point during this. We're just missing Jacob Fought too. We get Kayden Carter and Katana Chance versus Chelsea Green and Piper Nivens. I thought this was a good match, big Chelsea Green fan. So I'm really happy that she and Piper Nivens won. I like to see more of them. I honestly, this is me being biased, but I would love to see Chelsea Green and Piper Nivens be tag team champions again. They were really good. And with the Queen of the Ring coming back, Queen's Crown tournament, I definitely would like to see Chelsea Green win that, and that would suit her perfectly. So Cody Rhodes cuts a promo. He asked Montreal what they would like to talk about in French. Now, he says something interesting that he wants to thank Adam Pearce for allowing him to hang out on Raw because he's a SmackDown superstar. And he basically just talks about The Rock, he talks about Seth Rollins, and the whole point of this is that he brings out Jey Uso, who's going to have a match with Finn Balor. And since Jey Uso had his back, he wants to have Jey Uso's back against Damian Priest, since he knows Judgment Day is out there. But Jey Uso wants to do it alone, and of course, that's gonna cost him. That's what's gonna cost him the title is that numbers up game. We get Nia Jax Interview, and she's basically talking about how no one's gonna stop her from getting that world title. That title is hers. People with the draft coming up, she may be facing someone she's never faced before. And there are two types of people: the people that fear Nia Jax and those who want to fear her. So, you guys think Nia Jax is winning that title, or is Liv Morgan going to win that title? Let me know in the comment section in the live chat. We get Jey Uso versus Finn Balor, which was a good match. Finn Balor attacked Jey Uso before the match even started, and it gave him an advantage, but it wasn't enough to win the match. Jey Uso does win this match, and it was interesting because the entire time, Damian Priest is watching backstage, and then he comes to the ring, and Finn Balor's just kind of sitting there watching this exchange between Damian Priest and Jey Uso. They're just staring at each other, and then when JD and Dominik attack him, Balor's just kind of standing there, and he gets in Priest's face, and then he attacks Jey. So maybe Finn Balor is going to be the one who turns babyface here, because you have to remember, I think commentary brought this up, Finn Balor spent all of last year trying to win that world title, and he failed to do so. And here comes Damian Priest, and he wins that world title. Like I said, split of Judgment Day is coming. And I'm very curious to see that when Rhea Ripley does come back, where exactly, if she tries to recruit Judgment Day, if they're broken up, or she's going to still be with Dominik. That's a wait and see. But Jey ends up getting the upper hand on Judgment Day, and then he exits through the crowd, and he goes exit the building, and he sees Sami Zayn looking up into the sky, and Sami says that he first watched wrestling in the Bell Center 25 years ago. So the main event ends up being the IC title match, Sami Zayn versus Chad Gable. Before that, Bronson Reed does let Chad Gable know that whoever wins between him and Sami Zayn have to answer to him. So this was a really great freaking match. I'm so glad this main event did. This was incredible. That powerbomb and then sharpshooter. They were in Montreal. Sami Zayn had to do the sharpshooter. The backstage video was great work. The post Kevin Dunn era is an improvement. Oh, hell yeah, it is. I really like this new camera angles, and the whole production has gone up a notch. Chad Gable kept putting Sami Zayn in the ankle lock and stuff like that. And Sami Zayn is ultimately victorious. And, he offers his son to Chad Gable. And, Sami's out there celebrating with his family and his wife. And that's when Chad Gable attacks me. He homie just, German suplexes him in the middle of him, hugging his wife. And then he puts him in an ankle lock in the ring post. So, like I mentioned earlier, this was the perfect opportunity to turn Chad Gable heel. Montreal, Sami Zayn's hometown, in front of his wife and family. I'm very curious to see where Chad Gable goes as a heel. I wonder if this means he's splitting from Alpha Academy. Like Io said here, maybe you put him with the Creed brothers and they just become a heel stable. I cannot wait. This was a really great match. Chad Gable, I don't think Chad Gable's been heel since he's been in the main roster or at all. But overall, this was a pretty decent episode of Monday Night Raw. The one thing I disliked, of course, was the Awesome Truth segment. The tag title, I feel like that just went on a little too long for my liking. That's just me personally, though. Alright, but with that being said, I'd give tonight's Raw from a 1 to Sean Spears' perfect 10. I'd give it an 8 out of 10. That was a decent Raw. But with that being said, you guys, thank you guys all so much for watching and for the continued support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or release a new video. And I see you guys Wednesday after the AEW Dynamite. Bye.